High above the misty peaks of the Golden Triangle, the air is thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming poppies. Somewhere in this emerald fortress, a man sits in a mahogany chair, defying the world's most powerful nations. The United States Department of Justice labeled him the Prince of Death. Yet to thousands of ethnic Shan tribesmen, he was a savior. He operated in a shadow world where borders blurred and law was a foreign concept. For decades, the DEA chased a ghost across the rugged mountains of Southeast Asia. Despite a $2 million bounty and international indictments, he remained untouchable. This is the story of Khun Sa, the king who never lost his crown. How did a simple warlord survive the focused might of the American military-industrial complex? The answer lies not in the bullets he fired, but in the sophisticated web of geopolitical interests and strategic alliances he meticulously wove together. Part 1. The Apprentice. Our story begins in the 1950s, amidst the chaotic fallout of the Chinese Civil War. As the Cold War chilled the globe, the rugged hills of Burma became a strategic chessboard for the CIA and the remnants of the KMT. A young Khun Sa watched as American-backed Chinese nationalists trained in the jungle. He didn't just learn to shoot, he studied the mechanics of power. He observed how elite units moved through the brush, mastering the art of the ambush. By the time the superpowers turned their attention elsewhere, Khun Sa had inherited a lethal education. He understood that in this lawless vacuum, a private army was the only currency that mattered. He began recruiting young men from forgotten villages. He framed his rise as a liberation struggle for the Shan people, a marginalized minority seeking independence. By building schools and medical clinics, he transformed a criminal enterprise into a grassroots movement, ensuring the local population's absolute, unwavering loyalty. In the early 1970s, he was captured and spent 5 years in a cold, damp prison cell. Rather than breaking him, the isolation refined his mind. He spent his days obsessively reading Sun Tzu's The Art of War over and over. Part 2. Challenging the U.S. Emerging from prison, Khun Sa was no longer just a guerrilla. He was a philosopher general. He established his headquarters at Homong, a sophisticated city carved into the jungle. It featured paved roads, satellite television, and a standing army of 30,000. The labs at Homong functioned with industrial precision, producing heroin of terrifying purity. At a time when street drugs were diluted and weak, Khun Sa's WO Globe brand reached a 90% purity level, flooding the global market. In 1977, he made a move that stunned Washington. He sent a formal ultimatum to the United States government, offering to sell his entire opium crop for $100 million. He framed it as a humanitarian buyout for his people. The United States refused to negotiate with a narco-terrorist. Enraged, Khun Sa expanded his reach, eventually controlling 40% of the global heroin supply. He became a direct threat to American national security, a villain the West couldn't ignore. The hum of electricity in his command center signaled his global reach. While American cities struggled with an addiction epidemic, Khun Sa sat comfortably in his mountain palace, protected by layers of heavy artillery and a sophisticated network of informants. Part 3. The Checkmate. By the early 1990s, the pressure finally mounted. The DEA launched Operation Tiger Trap, targeting his logistics and freezing his assets. The jungle was closing in, and many expected a final bloody confrontation between the warlord and international law enforcement. But Khun Sa understood the cardinal rule of power. There are no permanent friends, only permanent interests. Instead of fighting to the death, he played a card the Americans never saw coming. He initiated secret negotiations with the Burmese military. In 1996, the world watched in disbelief as the Opium King surrendered, not to the Americans, but to the Burmese government. It was a masterstroke of political theatre. He traded his vast heroin empire for total, lasting personal immunity. Under the terms of the secret deal, Burma refused to extradite him to the United States. He disbanded his army and moved to a luxury villa in Yangon, living out his days as a wealthy, legitimate businessman in real estate. The man who had poisoned the streets of New York and London died of natural causes in 2007. He passed away peacefully, surrounded by opulence, having never spent a single day inside the walls of an American prison cell. Part 4. Takeaway. Khun Sa's legacy is a chilling reminder of the limits of international law. He realized that if you are powerful enough, you don't have to follow the rules. You simply negotiate a seat at the table with those who make them. He was a man who understood the price of everything and the value of nothing. By tying his survival to the stability of a sovereign nation, he made himself too complicated to kill and too protected to ever be truly caught. Today, the poppies still bloom in the Golden Triangle, and the trade continues under new names. Khun Sa proved that in the high-stakes game of global geopolitics, the house doesn't always win. Sometimes, the smartest player simply walks away. The Opium King died a free man, a ghost who outmaneuvered the greatest superpower on Earth. In the end, his greatest victory wasn't the empire he built, but the fact that he was the only one allowed to survive it.